Welcome, jesters. Now that it looks like no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security is going to happen, we should look at the future. Now, I don't think this is part of any 4D chess strategy, but I'm going to think that somebody in the administration has maybe at least floated this as a possible outcome. What I think is being set up is a competition, a future competition among politicians to start exempting different types of income, right? For years, the politicians have been tripping over themselves to tax different kinds of income, but now we're starting to exempt certain types of income. What better political play will there be for future elections than a politician promising to exempt a type of income that is very popular in their state or their local community? I think this is an absolutely brilliant move by the president, and let's just see what happens. I do have some ideas, though. What types of income should we be exempting that clearly are beneficial to the economy, and I'm sure many of our friends on the left would get on board with? Number one, single employee income. If you are the corporation, if you are the company, if it's just you, you are making all the money as a sole proprietorship, then why should you be paying taxes? If you're doing the work, the government's probably not contributing much, right? You're still going to pay, I don't know, things like your property taxes and all that, those other fees, but if you're making all the money yourself, then I don't think you should pay taxes on that. Then, estate sales. Everything you sell at an estate sale, heck, even a garage sale, was purchased with already taxed money, at least up till today. Why should that income be taxed again? And why should the IRS be expected to bother with your little garage sale, right? You make a little money on the side. They don't need to know about that. Estate sales, garage sales. Yes, that should be exempted. And in fact, if we're going to do that, home-based business income should also be exempt. This, my dearest friends on the left, this is an environmental thing. If people are working at home, then they're not driving their giant SUV to and from the office. They're not even using transit, which will save space for the more deserving. Absolutely, yes. As an environmental initiative to solve the environmental crisis, home-based income definitely needs to be exempt. And you know what? There are some shortages, but some shortages are more critical than others. I think medical practice income should also be exempt. I mean, everybody needs healthcare, so all these doctors and nurses, they're so hardworking, providing a vital service for the community. I think their income should absolutely be exempt. And you know what? If we're going to exempt doctors and nurses, we better exempt teachers' income. Absolutely. They are responsible for the future of the country. Why should we be taxing their income? It is such a critical job that, they deserve every dollar that they get. And you know what? I think we can survive without taxing teachers. But, beyond that, like the sole proprietorship, works of personal creativity, like if you make a sculpture or a painting or write a great piece of software, you made that. You literally made that yourself. What did the government contribute to that sculpture? Why should the government share in the fruit of your direct personal and artistic creative labor? I think income based on the sale of personal works of creativity should be exempt. Absolutely. And you know what? We do have a housing crisis in this country. There are so many unhoused people. It's absolutely tragic. Income from the sale of residential property. Yes, that should also be exempt, whether you're selling an existing home or if you're a developer building residential property. Yes, income from those transactions definitely should be exempt. We have to solve this housing crisis somehow, and that will go a long way to providing affordable housing for everybody. But then they're going to ask, who would that leave? Well, it's mainly going to leave the giant corporations. Yes, they're still going to be paying payroll taxes on these, but the employee doesn't see it. The company pays it, so now they're still going to have to pay the wage that the employee needs, but the payroll taxes behind the scene, that's definitely paid by the corporation. And the sale of commercial real estate, absolutely. There's no reason these giant corporations need these giant monumental campuses. Absolutely not. And if they're in business, well, you know what? They have the money. Clearly, they have the money. So yes, if you're dealing in commercial real estate, yeah, you definitely have to pay taxes on that. And of course, the granddaddy of them all, what our friends on the left keep telling us the corporations will pay, tariffs. Yes, well, if corporations pay the tariffs, then absolutely, that is where the government can get its money. Yeah. You know what? These, like I said, there are so many activities. There are so many things that people do that we should not be taxing. We really should leave it to the corporations to pay all these taxes. And when the corporations are paying the taxes, maybe the politicians will spend a little bit of time making sure that there's a business environment in which they can make the money to pay the taxes. And also, if you think about it, once people stop paying taxes, and then only the corporations pay the taxes, and the corporations have the politicians in their back pocket, then they won't be paying taxes, and then nobody will be paying taxes. Ooh, I really like that plan. I really do like that plan. You know I'm right.